Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert Gabriel. We're going to get started. Thank you so much for joining. This is the monthly user group for Medisoft. This is my contact information. I am the president and CEO of MicroOS Technology. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to talk about custom report. Now, custom report are two types. There's a type where you can do yourself, even if you're not a report wizard. What I mean by a report wizard is I'm talking about be able to do like crystal reports. So to be able to design a crystal report, it needs special skills. Not everybody can do crystal reports, but the ones I'm going to show you today, I call them like flat reports or one table report. One table report means it's coming from maybe the address list, it's coming from the appointment list, it's coming from the patient list, labels, customizing a heck of a form, things like that. So let's move to Medisoft and I'm going to show you that. So first is I'm going to go to report, and to load the reports is the custom report list. That's when you're ready to print. So when you're ready to print them, those are anything that you see on this list, you can actually customize. Then you can customize yourself or modify. And they're divided into different categories. There's list, there's ledger, there's labels, there's walkout receipts. And within each category, there might be more than one report or one receipt. So to open an existing one, I can just hit OK. And this is like printing. And I'm going to hit start. And this is like sending a receipt to this chart number. I can pick a different chart number and the date ranges. So I'm going to increase this date range here so I can see a larger range. And that will just print it for me here. So now this is just how to run it. But to customize it, you have to go to report, design custom report, and you're going to hit open. You're going to do similar to what I just did. Then you're going to open the one that you want. So now you're in the design view. Okay, so the design view, let me just familiarize you with the screen. This is header. Anything you type in this header, it will always be on top. Anything you type in the details, it will keep repeating. See that green line there? That's repeating. So the date from, the description, the procedure. So if there's multiple procedures that you're reporting on, they will be listed just like I showed you before. Then the footer, anything you put in the footer, it will keep repeating at the bottom of the page, if it happens to be the report that you're doing is multiple pages. Now you'll be able to modify the size of the header, the size of the footer, and the detail the way you want to. And also there's some tools here. This is a text label. So like, for example, let's say if I have the word patient here, that's a text label. So this was written using this kind of field, text field. So I can click here, I can type anywhere, then double click, then I can modify this. Okay, just you get the idea. Or I can modify one of them here. If I double click here and see the text, I can just modify this. Or if I don't want it, I can just hit the delete button on the keyboard. Okay. Then the best way to, if you're going to customize your own report or modify, I will advise that you save it with a different name. So if this is a report I just opened, I don't want to override it, because if I make a mistake, I don't want to lose something valuable that I have. You will not be able to modify and keep the same name if it's a report that comes with the system. Like if you're new to Medisoft and you open your report, anything that comes with the system, you will not be able to overwrite anyway. But if it's something that somebody designed in your office, we did it for you, or you designed it yourself, you will be able to override it. So you don't want to override it and regret it, because it's hard to reverse it. You got to go back to a backup. It's not that easy. So the best thing is, after you make your changes, you click on File and do Save As. So when you do Save As, I can change this to like maybe letter D. Okay, because that was my C version before, and now I can do letter D. So from now on, when you go back to where I showed you before to run those reports, if I run on a report and custom report list, and depending on the category that I'm going to filter for, let's say I'm going to do the workout receipts, so this is the one I modified and I labeled it a D. Then now I can just run it just like I did before, and I can modify this the way I want to. It will just print like that. So you remember the detail, they will keep repeating based on how many they are within that range that I filtered for. And this is my header on top. So that header keeps repeating. So if that workout receipt happened to be multiple pages, it will keep repeating that header on top, and it will keep repeating the footer on top. I'm going to just open it one more time in design. I'm just going to point one thing out. So I'm going to open my D report that I just modified. So in the green section, that's the detail. Those are fields, and those fields are coming from your table depending on which table that you designed. So if you want to create a new, say, if I don't want that amount, I don't want this amount, I want something else. So you will click edit. Then you're going to need to know from which table and which field. So that's the hardest thing to do, knowing which table to use and which field to use. So those are tables that this is like insured 1, and this is all the field with insurance 1. This is insured 2. This is from the case. This is from the transaction. So pointing and knowing which field it is, that's going to be your hardest part. Once you do that, then everything else is easy. I can also change the font or the background color or anything like that. So that's if you want to get fancy. Now, if there's a field that I don't want, I can just delete it and enter a new field, but it's easier to double click on it and edit the field here instead of deleting, because sometimes trying to line them up the way they line up, it will take some time. Also, there's the position where the field is. If I double click on one of the field, notice that the position here, this is the height, this is the width. The width is how much information I will have across, and the height is where I want it positioned within my report. Okay. Any questions here? Now, most practices will be able to do those type of report themselves. It doesn't take that much talent or effort. But if you have a sophisticated report that you want, then we do have a report designer department at MicroWise. We can help you with that. And if you have the cloud, we normally include those custom reports for you. Now, to get a list of all the custom report that we designed and for other practices to get an idea, the best way to do it is go to microwise.com, click on products, click on Medisoft, and go to reports. So when you go to that page, you will see them this is all the different reports in Medisoft, the ones that we customize and the one that comes with the system. Because sometimes if you have a large database, sometimes it takes a while to run that report. So what we did here, we described the report. We get a screenshot of what you filter for. Then so if you click on it, you will get to see a larger version of that screenshot with the filter. And also, if you click on the output, this is what the report will look like. So if you're looking for a specific report, you can come here and just go through this. It's a lot easier than trying to keep running your own report, especially if you're new to Medisoft and maybe you don't have enough data yet. So those are each category with the different reports in it. Then when you come to the very bottom here, this category here is aging, and look how many different aging report within just an aging. Then this is financial reports, and this is different financial reports. Then we have marketing reports, collection report. This is facility, financial. Then this is financial, that's not facility, like maybe provider and other things like that. Then at the very bottom here, we do have a plus pack. Then within the plus pack, we have custom report. This is one of my favorite custom reports we ever designed. And this report here, we give, if you have cloud, you can get this at no charge. And this report actually exports the data into Excel. Then you can take it into Excel. So the report will look like this. It will have the name of the patient, the chart number, the date of service, the procedure, the charge amount, paid by primary, paid by secondary, applied to a deductible, paid by patient or guarantor, adjustment, and remainder. This report is an amazing report that catches any billing mistakes or catching something that maybe was written off by mistake or something that has been open. It's a lot faster than running aging report or anything like that, because I can capture a big range of data for me and take it to Excel. And if you're good at Excel, you can do a lot with this report.